in some Asian and Eastern practices, it's known that everything is inherently neutral. Everything is empty. Let's take money, for example, or even sex. We can take these two really highly charged subjects. You could take politics, money, sex. I think these are some of the three topics that can really, people have a lot of energy around those things. So you'll notice if you take three different people off the street and you ask them about their value, their relationship, and the way they handle their money, they're all going to have three very different responses based on their own experience, their own belief system, their own value system. So we all project, in essence, our feelings, our emotions onto things that are inherently neutral. So money is just paper, it's an energy, but we all have a feeling, a value, a belief around money. And it's this core concept that meditation helps us to understand more deeply, is when we tend to project and place blame on things outside of us. You are causing me despair. And really putting that, perspective out there that if this person weren't in my life, if this wasn't happening, then I wouldn't feel this way. And meditation turns that around. Meditation says that I can choose how I perceive and feel about anything that's happening around me. What ends up happening is that we start taking off our projections, looking at our thoughts, our projections, and our perceptions of what's around us, and we use that as an opportunity to become more self-reflective, to see what our own beliefs are, our own thoughts, our own stories are. This is how meditation empowers us. We're going to have a little experiment today as part of our guided meditation. What you'll notice is that our thoughts, whatever we place our attention and our energy on, affects our feeling, our emotion. It affects further our thoughts and the whole experience that's going on inside your body. We have a physiological reaction that happens with each thought that moves through our brain. So whatever you focus on is the experience that's created within you, wherever you place your focus and attention. So I'll give you an example. I've noticed recently that when I start to feel a little tense in social situations, if I'm starting to feel a little tense in social situations or in speaking to someone, what I've done is I focus too heavily on what's outside of me. I've lost connection to my own sense of self, my own breathing, what's happening also within me. I've, in a sense, lost myself. So I'll always notice that when I start to feel a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress and tension, that I've actually started losing connection to myself. So what I'll often do in that case is, even if I'm speaking to someone or I'm in an environment, I will just gently become aware of my center and my ground, my connection to the earth. So anytime I feel that sense of anxiety or tension, I've realized I've lost connection to myself, my breath, my body, my own self-awareness. So let's try this practice before we go into a guided meditation. It can also be part of our guided meditation. Wherever you are, if you'd like to participate, just taking a few centering breaths that are relaxing. So breathing in fully into your belly, and then exhaling, relaxing your shoulders, your chest, relaxing your lower belly, letting go down into the earth. Again, breathing in like that all the way from the belly up here to the sternum, and relaxing between the shoulder blades, between your eyes, relaxing deeply into your inner core. Just becoming aware of yourself now in this moment, exactly as you are. Being aware of your breath. How are you breathing? And noticing without judgment, how are you breathing? Notice what helps you calm down your breath and deepen your breath just a little more. If you have any pockets of tension, giving yourself permission to soften and relax through those pockets of tension. And the first thing I'd like you to experiment with is to think about something that is really stressful, to think about something negative in your life that you're really unhappy about, that you're deeply challenged with. And as you put your thought there, just think about it. Put your imagination, your vision there. I want you to feel now what you're experiencing in your body. So become acutely aware now that as you hold that in your mind, what's happening in your body. What's happening with your breath. As you think about the stressful experience, you might notice that your body has more tension. You might notice that it's harder to breathe. So just be aware, and it's just an awareness of that, and you can let that go. Just return back now to your natural breath, your breathing. Give yourself permission to let go of that past experience. And now I invite you to think about something, think about one of the highest points in your life, your peak experience where you feel connected, you feel joyful, you feel excitement, you feel passion, joy. Think about one of these peak experiences in your life. It could have been the birth of your child, a new promotion. It could have been some accomplishment that you were overjoyed about. Just think about that peak experience. Put it in your mind's eye, visualize it, and think about it. And as you do that, notice what you're experiencing. Notice the energy in your body. And also your breath. Your peak experience. What is that inner feeling? If you allow yourself to go deep into it, what is that you're experiencing? I felt an expansion within. It was a lightness, a buoyancy, a feeling of flow. I felt my whole body relax, and it felt like I was in a position of inner thriving, and that's what I experienced. If you're just joining us, we're going through these exercises of noticing how our thoughts affect our energy, our well-being, how they affect our body and our breath. There are two basic types of meditation: active meditation and passive meditation. So what we just practiced was a more active meditation because we were consciously applying a level of concentration. And in this meditation, we'll just practice observing our body and what we feel in our physical body. And our breath. If you're new to meditation and you want to know what you can focus on as you meditate, you can gently bring your attention to your body and your breath and just observe and be aware. Every time we have a thought, it elicits a sensation, an energy. It elicits an inner experience. So you're just being aware of all the layers, all the subtleties that are happening as you meditate. Stay curious and just be open to that practice of being quiet. As you are quiet and as you breathe, as you're quiet and as you breathe, just paying attention. Noticing the thoughts, noticing your body. So if at any time you feel triggered, you feel like you're in a place of reaction, you feel like you're in a place of defensiveness, you are resisting or anger, any negative emotion that you start to become aware of. Let's say you're going about your day and you start to notice negative emotions rise. Just bring your attention to your body and your breath. Notice how your emotional state, how the emotion you're experiencing is affecting your body and your breath. And that practice alone will start shifting whatever you're experiencing. Just the practice of, okay, I'm noticing that I'm getting really upset, really angry. You don't have to judge yourself about it. You don't have to make yourself wrong. You don't have to punish yourself if you're feeling something negative. It's natural that when something negative is happening that we can have a response to that. So just allow yourself to have that response and then notice and track what's happening within yourself. Notice your energy. You'll notice that the energy gets really worked up and it starts to get tight, and there's a dissonance that starts to happen, an inner chaos, a feeling of out of control feeling. So just be aware of all of those feelings and then become aware of your thoughts. Ask yourself, what are the thoughts that I'm having right now? Why am I having these thoughts? What am I believing in? What am I believing in to have this thought, to have this experience right now? So let's just say, there's someone there that you think is a bully. So this person is a bully. They're clearly not aligned. They dominate other people. And you come into contact with this bully. And you start to notice this resistance or a hardness, or, like you have to protect yourself. So you're just becoming aware of everything that's happening inside of you. And that's an opportunity to ask, what am I really afraid of? What am I afraid of? And how can I show up as my true self in this situation? How can I show up as my true self, being in integrity with myself? And just becoming aware of the thoughts and the emotions and the beliefs that start to come up. Because what meditation gives us is a resource to come back to center, to reground ourselves within ourselves. We don't have to merge with the reality of other people. We can be aware of their reality. We can be aware of other people's consciousness, but we can't be aware of it when we get caught into an entanglement, where it gets emotional or messy or sticky. It becomes much more difficult to have a sense of neutrality and a sense of compassion and larger perspective when we get stuck on a lower level of resistance. So the way to start moving out of the resistance is to get in touch and start paying attention to yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Ask those questions. Go deep. Be curious about everything that's arising, so that we don't project our own unconscious fears, beliefs out into the world, so that we don't perpetuate that cycle. So what meditation helps us do is to undo those patterns. Undo the patterns of how we're used to reacting to certain situations. And that's how we know that meditation's really working in our lives. We know that meditation is working in our lives when we are able to respond differently, when we're not in a place of reaction, when we can still stay open and be open to what's happening around us. We can skillfully respond. Meditation gives us that power. Meditation gives us the power to, instead of collapsing and contracting into reaction and believing that our triggers are out there, that this person's causing me pain, this person, you give them power over you when somebody else has power over your own well-being. So we immediately give over our power and say, if that person changed, or if this changed, then I'll be better. Instead of going inside and creating that resource inside of us through meditation, making ourselves better, making ourselves centered, making ourselves grounded, and then being able to breathe in our center and skillfully respond to the reality of what's happening. To be in a place of response that can help create a higher outcome for ourselves, for the other, for the whole. So this is how meditation can really be a resource in times of difficulty and challenge. Life is always up and down, swirling, chaotic, happening around us. We don't have much control over that and what happens in our world. And it can be maddening when we think that we have to always do something about it. But with meditation if we're able to put ourselves into a place of inner balance and ourselves into calm and peace, we become exponentially more empowered to create a more positive, effective outcome for everyone, ourselves included. So this is the practice of meditation. It doesn't mean that we just allow everything to happen, that we allow bad things, wrong and injustice to happen right in front of our face and not do anything about it. What it means is that we're able to see it, we're able to observe it and be aware of it and aware of ourselves and respond skillfully from that place of inner center. And also being aware of and noticing that when we respond from a place, if we're angered, let's say we're angered by someone, and we respond from our anger, you notice that the whole situation starts to go to a lower level. But if you're willing to deal with your anger, your feelings of resistance, and be with it, really be with it for yourself, that when you come to a place of calm and then respond, how different that experience is, how much more elevating it could be, even if it doesn't have a positive outcome, that you're able to come back to yourself, come back here, instead of acting from out here, this kind of energy, but coming back here and then being able to choose how you want to be. And I'll just leave with this last point. Energy follows attention. Wherever your attention goes, energy flows. Where my attention goes, energy flows. And with that energy, so does your energy. That's your energetic state. Your energy gets affected by where you place your attention. Are you putting your attention on the problem, or are you putting your attention on the resolution? Are you focusing on the chaos? Are you focusing on something that's peaceful, that moves the situation to a higher level inside your mind? So what we can begin to do through meditation, through intention or prayer, which is a more active meditation, is to consciously choose, well, I feel really bad about this now, but I'm going to allow myself to feel gratitude. I'm going to allow myself to have some compassion for myself because I'm suffering right now. And just that subtle shift of, well, I'm going to just choose now to feel grateful and to count the blessings that I have right now. And when you start bringing your energy into the presence of the moment, you'll also notice that there'll be a shift. Because a lot of times when we're suffering, we're up here. We're in the mind creating stories and worst case scenarios and judgments and projections about other people and how bad they are. Like we want to make other people wrong and sustain our own, world because they did us wrong or that's not fair. And we stay stuck in that sense of victimization. And it's so easy for all of us to go there. I mean, it's just an easy place to go when we feel upset. And just noticing when we feel it, being aware of it, and then breathing through it, coming back to center, resourcing yourself with your breath, and then choosing what you do want to place your attention on, where you do want to put your energy. And that's, in a sense, raising your energy, raising your vibration, being your true self, your most authentic self. And that's how meditation can be such a wonderful, amazing, magical resource. And we need it now more than ever. More than ever, we have uncertainty, chaos around us. So we have this amazing resource that we can always tap into: our breath, our body, just placing our attention in a conscious place, a high place,